In the words of Gary Barlow, it was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely amazing. I can't believe the technique of that goal. It was absolutely amazing. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday evening. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're all having a great last few hours on this Sunday evening. And I hope you're all looking forward to a brand new week at the end of this November and into the beginning of December 2023 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour, mate. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and the community if you're new. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to put that notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the last few weeks in 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite, Rocket League, F1 23, Fall Guys, previews, match reactions, and much more brand stuff planned for the last few weeks in this year, in 2023 this year. And welcome to your Premier League match reaction this evening between Everton and Manchester United, with a very, very great, fantastic and very solid performance from Manchester United at Goodison Park this evening, finishing Everton 0, Manchester United 3, probably Manchester United's most convincing away performance all season long in this Premier League campaign for Manchester United. A great result, an important victory, and Manchester United's form in the Premier League seems to be on the up, and for once we scored more than one goal. And for Everton today, they have been undone by the brilliance of Kobe Manu and the pure and utter brilliance of Alejandro Garnacho. And for me, what a game, what a result, and what a 3 great goals to get Manchester United's Premier League unbeaten run continuing in the last few games, with Man United now the most consistent informed team in the Premier League as it currently stands. Manchester United are massively now on the way up after this victory at Goodison Park against Everton. And at the end of the day, it was a great performance. Manchester United, there's not a lot you can take away from how great that was from Man United. I mean, consistently, Man United were absolutely on it from the minute go today. They were very, very convincing. They seemed to be playing as a team for once, which was a massive positive. And even though you looked at the squad today and you looked at the amount of injuries we've got, it was mental. I mean, I could not believe how many injuries we seem to have in this first team squad. And it is a very, very good evening for Man United fans. And I was worried about this game. I was worried what was going to happen. And I was extremely worried how Manchester United were going to beat Everton today. But thank God we found a way, due to utter brilliance of the first goal to the second goal and to the third goal. That was Manchester United at their very best today against Everton, you know, who have been through a bit of a midlife crisis, who have been given a 10-point deduction for cheating, breaking financial fair play, and even their little pink banners and the little firework display thinking they're all Katy Perry fans before the game in the first half, where they were trying to fire this Everton team up. Unfortunately, your fire was put out by the cold, pure water and pure technique of this Man United team now. That is on the up. We are the most informed team, and I'm proud as a Man United fan this evening to say, for once, we actually played very, very well. I couldn't believe how well we dominated the game. I couldn't believe how well we controlled the ball, and we dominated possession, and Everton couldn't touch us. Honestly, they couldn't get anywhere near us, and it was quite frankly unbelievable how well we played. I thought Man United today were going to struggle with the amount of injuries we've got, and I was worried where the goals were going to come from. But at the end of the day, it was just down to the pure technician of Erik ten Hag. Erik is at the wheel. I completely agree. Erik ten Hag is fully at the Man United wheel. And now we are seeing this Man United team transform into Optimus Prime, because that, for me, is a very, very proud moment to say, do you know what? That this was our kickstart we needed. This is the result, and this is the game that Man United needed to show that we are fully still in the top 4 race. We are still fully trying to get Champions League football, and we are still fully in this Premier League title race. For me, we are massively back in it now. And I do believe after this result today, the only way is up for Man United. And I think for me, things are going to get even better and better with the way we performed today. And I think for me, the players played very well. Like, I can't fault any of them from their commitment and their desire and the passion that they put into this performance today. I didn't expect Man United to keep a clean sheet, and I did struggle to find where Man United were going to find the goal from, especially with the injuries to Rasmus Højlund and with the creativity of Eriksen, Casemiro, and Mason Mount all missing in that Man United midfield today. But it looked like we didn't even miss them. And that, for me, is a massive positive that those players finally stepped up. And I think, for me, that is a very, very good positive sign for Ten Hag, that no matter what players we've got injured and no matter the injury crisis Man United are in, those players can still do a job. And I think today, all of them stepped up to the plate. They put in a performance that I think every Man United fan could be proud of. And I think, for me, Man United deserve all 3 points. I think, for me, yes, the first goal we are going to talk about in even more greater detail. It put Man United on their way today, and getting that early goal was a good positive note to, get this team fired up and get Man United on their way to find the second, find the third goal to fully kill Everton off. And I think, for me, that is why we won the game today. It's just down to brilliant tactical decisions by Erik ten Hag. I think the squad today, has played a big part in the defensive awareness of how well we defended at the back. And I think, for me, also, in the second half, I think Man United were in absolute cruise control. And I think, for me, that is what Manchester United are set out to do. I think Man United knew that the 1-goal lead at half-time wasn't enough, and they found another 2 goals in them in the second half to obviously kill Everton off. And you have to feel for Everton fans. You have to feel for Everton supporters. They are in an absolute mess. Their club is an absolute shambles. And I think, for me, that defeat today has basically confirmed Everton's relegation. That, for me, is Everton gone. I can't see them staying up. I think Everton are going to go now. I called it at the start of the season that Everton, for me, were guaranteed to go down. And I think, for me, their 10-point deduction has absolutely killed them. And I think, for me, today, it is RIP Everton Football Club, because your Premier League journey is going to come to an end, because you cannot cope with the high pressing, high attacking philosophy of certain Premier League teams. They can't defend, they can't attack, they can't score enough goals. And I think, for me, this is why Everton are really, really struggling. And I think Sean Dyche, tactically got outdone by Man United's assistant manager, because obviously Ten Hag served a touchline ban today. So obviously he wasn't on the touchline and obviously couldn't be on the touchline for today's game. But I think, his assistant has done a fantastic job doing the job for him. And I think, for me, that is a very, very good positive note, that no matter if Ten Hag is away or if he's in the stands or if he's not on the touchline, we still find a way to win. And I think today, some of the football at times, it was very, very impressive. I mean, at times we were playing tiki-taka football, and it's like, I've not seen this from Man United for weeks. And I'm struggling to find how the hell, where's these performances been? Where are these type of performances been in this Man United squad? And I just think today it put us in the good step of the direction of trying to win the game. And I think, for me, that is why Man United comfortably destroyed Everton. I couldn't believe Everton started play. I think Everton, they haven't got really anything to lose except relegation. And I think, for me, at the end of the day, they could have found a way to score against Man United, because I think after taking the lead in the 3rd minute, I would have expected Man United to go on and bang a few more goals in before the halftime whistle went. And I think, for me, Everton sensed that Man United, they've got the 1-0 lead. We've conceded early on, and we've got to try and go for it now. We've got to try and get level before half-time, or maybe we can sneak in with a 2-1 half-time lead, and maybe the whole game is a different picture. But when Everton can't score any goals, this is why Everton struggle. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, probably one of England's biggest flops in England football history. Yet again, scoreless again today. I think, for me, Everton have got a team of players that haven't got the goals in them. I think Everton haven't really got the players to keep them up. I don't think really Everton have got the experience to be able to deliver what I think Sean Dyche is trying to get at. I think that is why Everton really, really struggle today, because they haven't got the players to be able to put the ball in the net. And I think, that 1-0 lead for Man United in the 3rd minute, it really all of a sudden fired Everton up, and I couldn't believe Everton's response. It was a very, very great one, and I thought fair play to them. They haven't got anything to lose. They may be 1-0 down with inside the first 3 to 4 minutes, but they really did come out and attack Manchester United. And I was quite surprised by the amount of attacks that Everton were having on our back four. It was a very, very worrying sign because I thought that first goal we scored, which we're going to talk about, I really thought it would have fired Man United up, and it simply wasn't the case. I think we got too cocky with the goal we scored. I think, the goal got to the players' heads, and I think for me, they got back into their old approach and just let Everton attack them. And Man United then were trying to break Everton on the counter-attack, and it didn't really deliver the first half I was expecting because, I thought, the goal we scored is pure and utter genius. I mean, we are going to talk about this goal in a minute, but I would have expected Man United to go on and put maybe another 2 or 3 goals past them to kill Everton off in the first half, because then Man United really could have rotated in the second half. But I think, we did go into half-time probably licking our wounds a little bit because the amount of pressure Onana was coming under and the amount of pressure that Maguire and Lindelof and Diallo and Luke Shaw were all having to face, it was a very, very difficult end to the first half. And those Man United players were very brave to come out in the second half at only 1-0 up still, because if Everton equalised, the heads are going to drop, the morale's going to be on the floor. And I think Man United did well to keep a clean sheet today. And it's nice to see all our front three scoring, which is a massive, massive positive that, having Rasmus out injured, it didn't really help today because I did worry that, playing Anthony Martial up front was a big, big worry. And I thought for me, where is the goals going to come from, especially with the injury record Martial's got? But, he took his third goal very, very well as well. And I think, big credit to Bruno Fernandes to, pass the ball to Marcus Rashford, to let Rashford have the penalty and to slot home United's second goal of the game. I thought, that is what you call a captain. That is what you call a leader. And that is what you call at Manchester United are now all of a sudden. Today, I think this is a big statement of intent. I don't think Man United are going to go lying down. I think this winning form is going to be kept up. And I think if these players can keep playing the way they are, you never know what can happen. This Premier League season has been a weird one so far. And I think for me, this is the biggest title race I think we've ever seen in Premier League history, that everyone's basically in it. And I think for me, that makes it more of an exciting season, that from Man City to Tottenham to Liverpool to Arsenal to Villa to Newcastle to Manchester United, even Brighton, I wouldn't rule any of them out competing for the Premier League title. I think every one of those clubs is in it. I think every one of those clubs deserves to be where they are today. I think those top 6, 7 clubs, for me, deserve to be where they are in the league table. And I think it, a full credit to everyone that is playing some very, very good football, because at the end of the day, it makes it more of an exciting Premier League season that not one team is running away with it. And I think for me, that is a more of an exciting season for everyone in the Premier League to witness. And I think for me today, Man United have put their name into the hat. I think today, for me, it's our most convincing performance of the season. I thought we did at times play some very, very good, attractive, sexy football. And I think for me, United today, it was a completely different performance from what I've seen against FC Copenhagen and Bayern Munich and Galatasaray and Man City and Luton, Sheffield United and Brentford. Man United went to Everton today, and I think, do you know what? I think those players knew they were going to come away with the win today. I think the players have looked at Everton's demise. They look at the situation they're in. They look about where Everton's league position is as well. And I think for me, that is why Man United have won this game quite comfortably. I think the Everton players know that their careers are basically on the line. Their Premier League future is now in massive, massive doubt, especially the defeat tonight to Manchester United 3-0. I think Everton now, the players are going to look at this and they're going to look at, a further -9 points deduction coming in the next few weeks. And Everton fans should be very, very worried, as well as your supporters as well, because that would basically confirm that Everton are going to go. I think we all can confirm that now. Everton are going to be one of the 3 clubs that does go down to the Championship at the end of this Premier League season in 2024 in the next few weeks. So I think if I was an Everton fan, I was watching that performance today, I would really, really struggle how Sean Dyche is going to be able to get Everton out of this mess. I think I look at your players, I look at your team, and I think Everton at times were lucky to have even 9 men on the pitch, because I think Doucouré, picked up a very early yellow card very early on in the game. And then he makes a stupid second tackle. And I don't understand why the referee has not pulled out the second yellow card to send Doucouré off. Everton would have been down to 10 men and at 1-0 down. That is a very, very tough situation in the second half to go to when you've got 10 players against 11 and you're already 1-0 down, and you wonder how Everton are going to be able to keep the ball out the net. But I think Ashley Young as well, ex-Man United, Villa reject, has been very, very lucky he wasn't sent off today, because I think Ashley Young, how is that guy still playing, by the way? I think Ashley Young at right back for Everton is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. The penalty, it is a clear and obvious Stonewall penalty. Ashley Young has brought down Martial in the Everton penalty area, and it's a clear second yellow card for me. I can't understand why the referee has taken so long to go over to the VAR screen, look at the decision that has been given, and VAR have told him to check it. And obviously, it's a clear Stonewall penalty. He brings down Martial, he clips his ankle. And I think for me, it's a clear Stonewall penalty. And Man United deserved the second goal. And like I said, give credit to Bruno Fernandes to passing the ball to Rashford, because I fully expected that Bruno Fernandes was going to take the penalty and get United 2-0 up. But I thought fair play to Bruno. I think he sees the situation Rashford has got himself in out on his personal life as well. He looks at the season Rashford's had so far, and I thought, you know what? It was an interesting decision from Bruno as a captain. I would have, for me, if I'm looking for a goal to keep up my goal scoring form, I would have taken the penalty myself. I would have looked at Rashford feeling, can he convert this penalty? Look at the last few games he's had, and you look at the red card he had against FC Copenhagen in the Champions League group stage on match day 4, and you're going to have to look at, can I really trust Rashford to convert that penalty to get us 2-0 up? Can I really expect us to score this penalty where I could have had the penalty myself and I could have converted it to make the game even more comprehensive for us today? So I thought fair play to Bruno to give the ball to Rashford. And Rashford's, it's a great penalty, by the way. There's no stopping that penalty. Even Jordan Pickford, he can't get anywhere near it. And I thought fair play to Rashford. He's back amongst the goals, and I think again another massive positive for Manchester United headed into the rest of the season. And hopefully Rashford now can keep banging in the goals that we need to, climb up that league table just a little bit more. And I think Man United are going to have a very, very good end of this season. I think for me, we've all said that, this hasn't been the season that we all wanted. This hasn't been the season that I think every Man United fan and supporter would have expected either. And I think, we've got to count ourselves very lucky that we played the football we did today, because at times it was very, very impressive. And I think, those players should be quite proud of themselves, even though they had a very difficult end to the first half. It was, backs against the wall. It was constant Everton attack after attack. And luckily, Maguire, Lindelof, Diallo and Luke Shaw got themselves out of that first half, not conceding a goal, because I think if Everton would have found the equaliser, I think this would have changed the game. I really think Everton might have gone on and beat us, because they did have opportunities in front of goal to equalise. Calvert-Lewin had an opportunity, so did Doucouré, so did Garnacho. And I think for me, that is why Everton haven't got the goals in that team, because they haven't really got a goal-scoring striker that can put the ball in there. I think, like I said about Calvert-Lewin, he is a poor Everton player. For me, one of England's biggest flops of English football history. And I think for me, that is why Everton don't score enough goals. And I think for me, this is why Everton are in the shit they're in today, because you can't rely on Doucouré, you can't really rely on Garnacho. And I think without Amadou Onana in the Everton midfield today, there was utterly just no balance. Everton couldn't control the game. They couldn't control the ball. And, the amount of times that team lost the possession to us today, it's quite worrying from an Everton fan's perspective that the situation you're now in, especially after tonight, is basically doomed you, because you're going to be bottom of the Premier League with the goal difference you are on. And with the 9-point deduction coming in the next few years of going into administration, if found guilty by Leicester, Leeds and Burnley, Everton are going to be in a right lot of shit, because they're not going to be able to get out the mess they're in. And I think for me, that is why they didn't win that game. So I think, Sean Dyche looks at it and it's probably an impossible mission to keep Everton up. And he looks at the morale of the players. The players are going to be worried about their futures. They're going to be worried if they're still going to be here next season. And they're worried that if they go into administration, a lot of those players might find themselves out of a club. I look at that Everton team and I think, if you take Calvert-Lewin out of that team and put a proper goal scorer in, Everton would score a lot more goals. I think Jack Harrison on the right wing hasn't really lit it up for Everton this season, what he did for Leeds. I think without Amadou Onana, like I said, you've got a really good midfielder in there that can hold the play up and control the midfield, and you haven't got that. Doucouré is too rash with his decision making and picks up stupid yellow cards. And I think I also look at the leadership in that Everton team. There doesn't seem to be one Everton player that was able to turn this around today. Like Ashley Young has been done for the last few seasons since he was done at United. I think also, Jordan Pickford at times is a very, very basic mid-table championship goalkeeper at best. And I think for me also in the Everton back four, there's no Michael Keane, there's no Mason Holgate. There's a lot of Everton players that Everton need and they haven't got them. And they've even brought in two young strikers that I thought would be starting over Calvert-Lewin because of Calvert-Lewin's non-goal scoring situation at the moment. I honestly thought one of the two strikers would be starting above Calvert-Lewin, and it simply just didn't happen for Everton. And I think for me, like even without Demarai Gray, I don't understand what the situation is with Demarai Gray. Is he injured or has he thrown his toys out the pram like Jadon Sancho has done at United? He doesn't want to be at the club. He wants to go. He wants to leave. And he wants to play for a bigger and better club that is going to give him a financial turn, and obviously give him a career for a lifetime. I think Everton without him have really, really struggled to get any play down the wing because you're stuck with Jack Harrison and you're stuck with Calvert-Lewin. And for me, that doesn't look like a very, very positive step that, Everton haven't really got the players. I think, for me, I look at that Everton team and I think for me, that team is going to struggle now because the players' confidence and the morale after, especially tonight, but the situation overall, Everton are screwed. And I think the players know it. I think Sean Dyche knows it. And I think, the future of Everton Football Club now is massively in the balance. And I don't see how Everton are going to be able to get themselves out of this shit they're in, because if their -9 points comes in, they're then going to be on -5. They are then going to be rock bottom of the Prem, which is going to be extremely difficult to survive then. I think we all probably know if that does happen by Christmas, that Everton get this points deduction, Everton are then screwed completely because they will not get out of the mess they're in. I said it from the start, like I said Everton would go this season. And I think today really summed Everton up. I really thought that Goodison Park crowd, the fans and the supporters would have been right behind that team today. But going 1-0 down in 3 minutes, the whole game plan simply went out the window for Everton. And Man United pounced on it like a cat being chased by a mountain lion. It was backs against the wall for Everton. And I mean, fair play to try and respond to that glorious goal that Garnacho has scored. Fair play to Everton to attack us, because I did not expect that response from Everton, especially with the goal that those players, their fans, supporters, their manager and their coach and the players on the bench, even the players in the starting line. But I did not expect Everton to fold that quickly. I expected Everton to give Manchester United a bit more difficult game. And today, I was shocked. Like I expected Goodison Park to be absolutely behind everyone. I fully expected a lot more difficult game. And I've watched an Everton team that are lacking ideas, lacking any charisma, and an Everton players that simply do not know what to do with or without the ball. And I think that is probably down to the tactics of Sean Dyche as well. I don't think Sean Dyche is a very good manager for you. I think, in the past, Everton have had better managers that have played much better football. And I think for me, I look at Sean Dyche now and I look at him tonight and I look at the way Everton are now. You're not going to get out of this. Like, there was no coming back after you went 2-0 down. And even when the third goal was conceded, I think Everton knew that they lost the game and they knew it was going to be a massively humbling defeat. And I think for me, like I said, I'm not blaming the fans of Everton or the supporters of Everton either. I'm blaming the club as a whole for getting themselves in this situation that they are in today, that their Premier League campaign is going to end, and it's going to end abruptly, and it's going to end by at least Christmas. And I think for me, that is realistic of what a football fan is going to look at from the rival fan point of view. You're going to look at Everton that, have been a major Premier League club for like decades. And you're going to look at it now like they've never, ever been relegated from the Premier League. And that looks like now that history is going to be made official once it hits Christmas, because you look at Everton's next run of games, you look at their next run of fixtures, Everton are going to find themselves very, very difficult to even get past Luton, because if you look at the gap between Luton and Everton, it's night and day. Luton win yesterday, go massively 5 points clear of Everton at the bottom three. At this point in the season, that's massive for a club like Luton to be that clear of a club like Everton already. Like, Everton should not be, finishing below a team like Luton. Like, no disrespect to the job Rob Edwards has done at Luton. But you look at it from a bigger point of view, Everton should not be in that bottom three. They should be competing for a European spot. They should be competing for the mid-table, and they should be safely finishing in the Premier League top 10. And when they went under David Moyes, they were solid as a rock. And since he's left, it's absolutely destroyed, because you've had manager after manager been sacked. You've had player after player been sold or leaved or brought, and the financial situation has fucked Everton up. I mean, you've got a brand new state-of-the-art stadium being built. If Everton go into administration, I don't think that brand new state-of-the-art stadium is going to start. I think the players have gone. I think the players' heads have gone now at Everton, and I think the board of Everton have got a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, because this is why they're in the mess they're in. And I feel sorry for all Everton fan supporters. Like, from a rival fan, I hate seeing a club like that struggle. But at the end of the day, you are getting your just desserts. You're being punished for what you've done. And you can't get away with being punished. Like, you've got to be punished for doing what you've done. And for me, at the end of the day, Everton's game was lost before they even kicked the ball today. I think they looked at Man United and they look at the quality we did have and the quality we didn't have. And I honestly thought Everton could have picked up a point today. With the way they were pressuring Man United in that first half, towards the end of the first half, I thought at the end of the day, Everton might have got something. They might have sneaked in a half-time equaliser, and then the players' morale goes up, the confidence go up, and they probably are going to try and sneak something unlucky that they probably at the start didn't really think they were going to get. But I think tactically, Ten Hag has absolutely outclassed Sean Dyche, because from night and day, you look at the both situations of both clubs. Who needs the points more? Who needs the wins more? I think from the Man United view and the Man United opinion, I think Manchester United needed the win more. I think we needed the points more, and we needed this win to be able to keep pace with the chasing pack, because Aston Villa are up there, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle and Brighton. I think for me, we are the best 7 Premier League clubs at the moment, because no one can get on our level, no one can compete with our football, and no one can compete with our results, and they can't keep up the pace that we are now setting. I think Man United, we've had, it's been an up and down season, but I think this result today will massively boost, and it will turn this season around. Mark my words, I honestly think now this season will turn around, and it will be a great one, and we might still win some trophies. We might save our Champions League campaign, and we might get top 4. And do you know what? I'd probably take an FA Cup. I'd take Champions League knockout qualification. I'll take top 4. And do you know what? I know it's not been great, but I'd rather take that over nothing. And I think today that those players, they seem to be playing as a team. And I think we've lacked so much identity. We've lacked so much charisma in the games we've played. And I think we've lacked any ideas. And I think for me today, we've really pulled a rabbit out of the hat. I think we've really, we've played really well today. I'm proud of Manchester United. I think, I didn't expect us to win 3-0. That was a very, very unlikely result to happen. But what annoys me is that I predicted a 3-0 score prediction and United have won 3-0. So if I would have put some money on that, it would have been even more of a fantastic weekend, because it puts you on a good profit. But at the end of the day, that football is football. Like at Man United, I did play some very, very good stuff at times. It's nice to have Martial scoring goals again. It's nice for Rashford to be able to get back on the score sheet as well. It's just been an overall great weekend from a Man United fan point of view. And I think everyone has got to be proud of what we were witnessing. And I think for me, we played as a team, we played as a unit, and we played as a squad. Like, we've not seen that in so many iconic games we've had. And I think for me, that is why it was the result, even more importantly, that we won that game too, because we are still keeping up. Like, I don't know, I can't remember the last time we lost in the league. I think it was the Man City game. So Man United since then have been okay in patches, but today it's been a lot more influential. It's been a lot more charisma today. There's been a lot more identity. And I think for me, losing Mason Mount, obviously, it's a big blow. We've got him out for a month with a bad calf injury. So obviously, we wish Mason Mount back from injury. We've also lost Eriksen for a month. So like I said also about Mount, we need Eriksen back ASAP when we can, but obviously we can't rush that injury. Obviously, losing Rasmus is probably the biggest blow we've had in weeks because he's been our guy that we can rely on the goals for. And obviously, when you've still got Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro and Ahmad and Malacia, and even Anthony today, I didn't even know Anthony was injured. It was backs against the wall what team Ten Hag was going to be able to bring to Goodison Park. Because you even saw Joe Hugill on the bench. You even saw Donny van der Beek on the bench, and he looks like he's going to be leaving in January. And for me, look, it looked like a very weak bench because you're wondering if United are losing this game, where did the options come off the bench? I mean, Pellistri was unlucky not to score, comes on in the second half and looks pretty influential at times. I mean, Amrabat, he's come on to do a job in the midfield, looked very, very comfortable as well. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, it's good to have Luke Shaw back at left back. We were a lot more solid in that back four. And obviously, taking him off was the correct decision to give Wan-Bissaka some game times, obviously protect Luke Shaw from picking up any more small little injuries. And I think for me today that Manchester United were a lot more solid. And I think for me that is why we headed in the right direction. Yes, at times I was questioning to myself the team selection Ten Hag went with. I was quite disappointed that Amrabat wasn't starting. I was disappointed that Reguilon and Varane weren't starting. But I think for me, if Reguilon would have started and Varane, we might not have won the game quite comfortably as much as we did, because at times in the second half defensively, we were absolutely solid as a rock. I mean, Everton had one shot on goal from Mykolenko that hits the bar that could have gone in. And that was really the only big threat that Man United had. Apart from that, United were defensively solid. And I was surprised by that because at times this season, Lindelof and Maguire have been at loosely at sixes and sevens at times. And it's been worrying football the way Man United have been playing in several big games we've had this season so far. And it's been, some of the football has been massively, massively questionable for how crap we've been and lethargic the team has looked. But today it just looked like Man United were in a different gear. It looked like the handbrake had been taken off, and it looked like those players were really, really up for the task today. And that is what I like. As soon as we finish the game off, we go straight over to the fans and applaud their commitment with us today. And that is what I like, that we've not seen the players go over as a group for weeks to the fans of Manchester United and applaud them, because we know how crap we've been at times this season. We know how many stupid points we've also thrown away and how many stupid points we've lost or we should have won and we haven't. And we were very disconnected. And I think today there was a lot more connection. It's like having a really stable Wi-Fi and your streams are going absolutely fantastic. So I think for me today that United were a lot more stable at times than what they were in the first half. I think if Everton would have found that equaliser, it would have been a disaster, because United today, I mean, we are going to talk about the big, big moment that has put this big, massive smile on my face, especially probably one of the greatest goals of all time I've witnessed again. Like, I know I have seen great goals by Robin van Persie against Aston Villa when we won the Premier League in Sir Alex Ferguson's final season as manager. I know I've seen the Wayne Rooney goal against Man City at Old Trafford to win the Manchester Derby when we won back the Premier League title from Chelsea. I remember the goal Ronaldo scored against FC Porto in the Champions League way back in 2009. Like, I've seen some great, great goals as a Man United fan in my time. I've seen so many fantastic, fantastic goals being scored by so many different players in my lifetime. But as I said in this title, and it states it in this title today, Alejandro Garnacho, goal of the season, steals the show. Oh my God. What a goal from Alejandro Garnacho to give United the lead. I mean, it is a fantastic ball in by Diego Dalot. For me, that is Diego Dalot's best cross he's ever put in the box for a Man United player. And I have at times been very, very critical of Diego Dalot. I've been at times very, very annoyed and frustrated with Diego Dalot's lack of desire to get the ball into the penalty area to deliver our strikers and our wingers options to put the ball into the back of the net. I've been frustrated since we signed Diego Dalot, but the ball in that has been played in by Dalot and the finish from Garnacho Oh my God. What a fucking goal. I mean, for me, shut the doors down, stop the vote. That is getting goal this season. An overhead kick. And for me, another great comment by Gary Neville on commentary. Garnacho has got no right shooting from there, especially the goal that we have all witnessed on our TV screens. And I think Everton, the players and even the fan supporters were absolutely shell-shocked that Garnacho has been left unmarked, no one around him, but the goal he has scored and the way he has put it past Jordan Pickford. I've seen some great bicycle kicks in my life. That, for me, is levels above any of the others. That, for me, is goal of the season by a mile. That, for me, is one of the greatest goals ever I've seen in my lifetime as a football fan, especially from a Manchester United player. That, for me, is one of the greatest goals I have ever seen in my whole life. The way he controls it and the way he hits it first time and the way he puts his body in the correct position to hit it on his right foot. I mean, oh my God, from Garnacho. And Garnacho is never going to score any other better goal than that in his lifetime. But that today is absolutely fucking stunning. And the words of Gary Barlow is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely fantastic from Garnacho. It is absolutely stunning. Hits it first time and it's gone top bins to Jordan Pickford's left. On my left, it's gone top bins into the top left-hand corner. The right side. It is I can't believe the goal we scored. I absolutely lost my mind. I was like that. I was like, hold up. Did I just see what I've just seen? And the words I used, oh my God, were the 3 words I used to explain how amazing that was. Like, I could not believe that was the goal that put United on the way to that victory today. That goal has stolen the whole show today. It is just an absolutely brilliant piece of technique skill. To hit the ball the way he's hit it and to hit it first time, you are never going to see a better goal than that. And yes, again, at times, I have been very, very critical of Garnacho. But that goal today, that is going to make that guy. It is going to make him into even better player. He's an absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal world-class talent. And at times, I have criticised him because I've not seen that levels of skill in a very long time from a United player. But the way Garnacho takes that goal and the way he hits it and to get the lead in the 3rd minute, what a better way to start than that. I mean, we all dream we can score a goal like that in our lifetime. I mean, when I used to play at the top level of football, I've scored some pretty good goals. Like, I was top goal scorer for my school. I played for my college and I played at a higher level. And I've never scored any good goal like that. That is just, it blows my mind how great that goal is. I mean, for me, you need to stop voting. There needs to be no vote. That goal has to go to Garnacho. And when they do the Pukas Goal Award of the Year, Garnacho has to have his arms on that trophy because the way he just hits it, it's like, I'm just going to hit this. It's basically more of a hit than hope. I'm just going to hit this and I'm just going to hope it goes into the back of net. But it absolutely flew in. It absolutely rocketed into the top left-hand corner of Pickford's net on his right-hand side from our point of view watching the game on the screen. It's just an unbelievable bit of skill, talent, and pure and utter genius from Garnacho. I mean, that was set up from a goal from heaven. That is a goal from the heavens above. That goal is a gift from the gods. Honestly, it is absolutely fantastic the way he's taken that goal. And I think for me, like I said, full credit for Diallo to getting the ball on the box. And then when Garnacho hits the Soo as well, I mean, what better way? You've hit your hero's celebration to celebrate your greatest goal of his career. And Garnacho is probably going to say, I've scored good goals before, but that is the benchmark of whatever Premier League players need to be hitting, because that, for me, is the greatest goal ever I've seen in Premier League history. absolutely greatest goal ever. No question about it. Robin Van Persie might have been good. Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo, Berbatov. That for me there is a contender, and not even a contender. That is your goal of the season award for this Premier League campaign in the 23-24 season. That Garnacho goal is going to make this player now, because that for me, that takes guts, it takes skill, and it takes a lot of passion and a lot of commitment and a lot of risk to make that moment of magic happen. That for me today has made us win this game, because even the United players probably couldn't believe he's just done what he's just done. But it's just the way he took the goal. It's just pure and utter genius from a player that has got the world at his feet. He's got Ronaldo vibes in his boots. Alejandro Garnacho, I mean, bloody hell, man. I mean, it's a goal it's just a goal that you don't really expect to happen. It's a goal really that you're thinking, please let this just go in. Please just let's make this happen, because if you're trying to hit a goal like that, you're going to have to hope you don't mess it up. It's like Garnacho knew, if I mess this up, I'm going to get absolutely crucified like fuck. And for me today, when you hit it first time as well, he didn't even have to control it. He just hit it first time, and it flies in like Ronnie O'Sullivan with his Q power on the snooker table. It was just an absolute rocket that flew past Pickford. Even Pickford probably was quite surprised that Garnacho was allowed to shoot from that far out. I mean, there's no one marking him. It is, again, very, very poor defending from Everton to leave them alone, unmarked, in their own penalty area, and to let Garnacho have a free shot on goal like that. But they couldn't stop it. They knew that was going in. I think they probably knew. As soon as that flew past one or two of them, they probably thinking, this is going to go in, isn't it? And it did. I mean, oh my God. I mean, this is, for me, this is a monumental weekend. This has been a great, great weekend. We've had the F1, and we've now seen the goal of the season, goal of the century by Garnacho. Mark those words. Garnacho's goal today, oh my God. I mean, what a player, what a talent. And I think for me, another mass shout out today. He got badly injured in pre-season, and he was absolutely world-class in that midfield. Welcome back, Kobe Manu. I mean, what a player that guy's going to be. I mean, Kobe Manu, we have been lacking in the midfield, and today he comes back in. He got our under-18 Player of the Year award last season, and he slots back into that midfield three and makes that midfield job look fucking easy as pips. Like, he makes it look easy as hell. Like, I know at times it's been risky to play a young talent like that, and you're hoping that it pays off. But the way he commanded the ball, he commanded his presence, he wanted the ball, he made runs, he made passes, he made tackles, he went back and tracked back. That Kobe Manu, like, we know Mctominay and when Fred was there were all a problem. We know we've lost Eriksen. We know we've lost Mount, and we know we've lost Casemiro. But today, that guy, Kobe Manu, I mean, welcome back from injury, mate, because you were fucking phenomenal in that midfield. Like, that is a player that who's basically got the world at his feet like Garnacho. I mean, he is going to be an absolute beast in that Man United's midfield for the future. I mean, his presence is just surprising, that for the age he's at and the way he just commanded the ball and he was making passes that made it look so easy. That is what you call talent. That is what you call a player that, you know, we have been lacking that midfield creativity. We've been lacking that maestro that can control the midfield, that can keep the balance of play in Man United's hand. And Manu just looked absolutely at the world at his feet. He had Pirlo vibes. He had that vibe today, thinking, do you know what? I need to make an impact now. I'm back from injury. I need to make my mark. And by that tonight, he has made his mark as long as Garnacho. And I think for me, this is why both of them are getting my Man of the Match award, because they were both absolutely phenomenal today. And that was really pinpointing towards our victory. And I'm glad we put in a good performance. We're absolutely electric in that second half. And we absolutely played some very, very good football at times. And I'm proud of the performance. The players massively stepped up today. The injury problems may be hurting us, but Man United now are on the upward step of turning this Premier League season around. And I'm pleased we beat Everton. We've won 3-0. Goodison Park is always a tough ground to go to try and get anything from. But today, that was Man United at their very best. We may have lost our manager on the touchline, but today, him up in the stands, it didn't really matter because Man United absolutely ripped Everton apart. Poor and shambolic performance from an Everton team that are going to go down. They're going to get relegated. And for me, at the end of the day, I've even got a special guest. I've even got Sean Dyche with me. So, Sean, what do you think of that goal? Well, at the end of the day, Garnacho has absolutely scored an absolutely phenomenal goal. I mean, at the end of the day, I may have Tarkowski, I may have McNeil, and I may have Pickford, but, at the end of the day, I can't stop Garnacho. It is an absolutely phenomenal goal. I mean, Everton may be going down. I may have no hair, but I haven't got any hair. But I would have torn my hair out at a Garnacho goal, especially the way he has been left unmarked in my box. I mean, it's absolutely flown past Pickford. And, at the end of the day, we're going to get relegated. And then at the end of the day, I'm still going to have Pope. I'm still going to have Tarkowski. And I'm still going to have McNeil. And I'm going to go and get a beer. And after that, Everton are going to go down. And at the end of the day, we've lost the game 3-0. We're going to go down. We're going to be in the Championship playing Plymouth at the end of the day. So, thank you. I mean, great goal by Garnacho. Great penalty from Rashford. Great finish from Martial. Bruno, magnificent from Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese Magnifico. We may have lost 3-0, but at the end of the day, I'm still Sean Dyche, and I still can speak like this. That is Sean Dyche's reaction. I mean, brilliant from Sean. So, we're going to leave it there for today. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to put that notification bell on at all times as well. Receive dedicated content in the last few weeks of 2023 on this channel, United Red Devils 20, for more Fortnite, Rocket League, EA Sports FC 24, Fall Guys, F1 23 have both returned to the channel. We've got more previews, more match reactions, and tomorrow afternoon we will be having the preview for Man United's away game against Galatasaray on match day 5 of the 23-24 UEFA Champions League group stage campaign for the game on Wednesday night. Join me for that preview tomorrow afternoon, which it's going to be a lot more positive one than what it was planned to be. But, at the end of the day, Garnacho is just phenomenal. I mean, at the end of the day, we've won. So, here again from Sean Dyche. I'm going to see you later. I'm going to go some Fortnite. I'm going to go live. And, at the end of the day, I'm going to get my ticket about Garnacho. I'll speak to you guys soon. I am Sean Dyche, and I'm the Everton manager. Thank you.